Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, Des.
So I thought I would, well, I've never spoke about being locked up in the Philippines. Never.
You didn't have to.
Never talked about it, never told any stories.
Have you seen your episode of the Filipino to Catch a Predator? Well, he must have done because you were... You know what, right? You know when he was trying to sue us, right? He's... One of the things... By the way, I've got an announcement. I'll make it now. What I've decided to do with a 60-page document that Decca Solicitor sent us is publish it as a book, because you need to see it and read it from start to finish. So I'm going to sell it as a book with an accompanying QR code that you can scan, and it will show you all the video stuff as well. So that'll be out. It'll be available on the website in about 2 weeks' time, and I think the books take about 14 days to print, but it'll be limited edition. They'll all be signed. The front cover will be me in the crab outfit, and that's coming soon. In this document from Decca's solicitor, one of the things that he's pulling me up for is calling him a crab nonce, right? And it's on a video, and it says that there's no evidence to support that Decca is a paedophile, right? And in the same video that they're complaining about in this document, Decca is stood there holding a sign that says Derek Gordon Heggie, convicted sex offender. And apparently, I didn't have any grounds to believe that Decca's a sex offender. Are you mental? His solicitor must be just as thick as he is. Anyway.
About the place, but now I'm finally going to let you all into what it was really like in Bikutan Detention Centre and why I was arrested.
Oh, well, this will all be bollocks then.
Now, what happened was when I was in the Philippines, people from the UK, trolls, people that always target me online, sent over information to the Philippines authorities that I was a paedophile in the UK on the run from the UK authorities.
Well, in my opinion, that's true because you've been accused of a sexual offence against an 11-year-old and you were on the run for a driving offence. So I don't think that's trolls, Derek. I think that's the truth.
Now, you've got to remember, guys, this is the reason why I was arrested at first. I wasn't arrested because I was a 4-month overstay. I wasn't arrested because of my criminal background in the past. I was arrested because apparently I was a paedophile on the run from the UK authorities. And this information
you were?
Was sent by individuals in the UK.
So you think you just think any random individual can trick a government, can you? It's worth a shot, isn't it?
And that was the reason I was arrested the first time. When I was arrested, it was on the second day in the detention centre that the UK embassy actually came in and apologised and said that you weren't arrested because you're not wanted, you weren't a fugitive. That's why.
Hold on, there was a bit of a slip there. They said you weren't arrested. And he corrected himself. You'd start the video again, wouldn't you? He's so thick.
And said that you weren't arrested because you're not wanted, you weren't a fugitive.
Dylan.
That's why.
Why would the UK embassy apologise? And if that was the case, if he'd been arrested in error, why didn't they just let him out or let him get a flight home?
I was obviously given my personal phone as well, because when you go in Bikutan detention...
He's that much of a bad liar. He should have been a bird.
...centre. If you're a fugitive, you don't get to use your personal phone. You get one...
Derek, right? Nobody in a detention centre is a fugitive. You're locked up. There are no fugitives locked up. You spastic.
...hour every single day on your personal phone if you're a non-fugitive.
None of yous are fugitives. You're in a detention centre, man, you clown.
Anyone that's been detained in the Philippines will know what I'm talking about.
Oh, how many people in there? How many people do you think you have been locked up in the Philippines?
But I was arrested. The offence that I was arrested for was apparently I was a paedophile on the run from UK authorities.
Right, so what's incorrect?
That's what I was arrested for. 2 days in, the UK embassy came in and apologised and said that I wasn't a fugitive and I wasn't wanted in the UK. But the reason why I was...
But you were wanted in the UK for a driving offence. That's why you fled in the first place, man. Do you think we're thick? What happened is, right, is FFM, launching soon, everybody, launching soon. Karate Marty, right, filled your head full of his pipe dream that you were going to fight Danny Christie for 100 grand. And I think you thought that if you went to jail, then you would miss your chance at this 100 grand fight. So you fled the country because you were on the run for a driving offence. It was in all the papers, Derek. You spoke about it yourself, Derek.
Deported.
Deportation.
In the end.
Depotato.
Was because I was classed as an undesirable for my sexual assault charge of slapping that woman's bottom.
And it wasn't slapping a woman's bottom. Don't make me go through it again, Derek.
In 2006. This is why they ended up changing the story and turning it into I was deported because of my criminal background in the UK. So the first offence that I was...
Who was changing the story? That's what it says on all the official paperwork.
...arrested for was complete and absolutely fabricated. And in the end, I was deported because I was 4 months overstay and I was classed as an undesirable because of my criminal background.
You're right. It's not a criminal background. It's a sexual offence background. Criminal background would insinuate that you were some kind of career criminal that's ever made a penny from breaking the law, when in actual fact, you're just a divvy.
In the UK.
A bit of a touchy divvy.
Now the conditions...
A very touchy divvy.
I don't know if anyone's seen, but you can look on my community
a really touchy divvy.
Page of
touchy.
When I was in there. So as I said, you were given 60 minutes on your phone per day. It was brutal.
It's not meant to be nice, Derek. It's not Butlins.
Where things were run, it was like an army camp. And to be honest with you, I still get...
You know what it was like, Derek? It was like a deportation centre in a third world country.
Flashbacks of being in there today. It was that much of a horrible place and the conditions were absolutely disgraceful.
Shout out to Liam for the super chat. Decker's got his eyes open. Keep this up, Craig. Only channel I've been watching lately. Thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate that.
Not for human consumption, the whole place. The food wasn't for you.
The place isn't for human consumption. Deck, I know you put some weight on, but what was your plan? Like to eat the deportation centre? What on earth are you talking about, man?
Human consumption. The conditions were not for humans. We were trapped like animals in there.
It didn't look any worse than Chew's shack.
And as I'll go with the phone time. So what would happen was you would put your name down for the time every hour on the hour.
You would put your name down for a time every hour on the hour?
You would put your name down when you wanted to use the phone.
Right. So hold on a second. You want to tell them about a deportation centre that you were in for months, where you would have been rattling off drugs and whatnot while you were in there, right? In the top of your list is how you put your name down to get your phone for an hour.
And when we were queuing for the phone, we had to queue in an orderly line. Anybody that didn't answer the guards...
So this is also phone related? With
yes, sir, and stand up straight... You had your phone time taken off you. So, for example, I could have been... Luckily, I wasn't...
Yeah, Derek, yeah, in a place, right, that's basically a form of punishment. Until it's not meant to be nice until you're deported. They're throwing you out of the country. And Decker's worst complaint so far about these inhumane conditions that aren't for human consumption, because he was going to eat the detention centre, apparently, right, is that you had to stand up straight in the queue for the phone.
One of them... But I could have been standing there, and when the guard speaks to you, if you don't say, yes, sir, something as simple as that, you were told to go and you never got your...
Yeah, I was in prison in the UK, and I didn't know how to behave in prison because I'd never been to prison before. And I called one of the screws mate, and he was like, I'm not your mate. And then I realised that you have to call them boss, so I called him boss from then on.
Phone time, and that 1 hour phone time every day was really important to a lot of the lads in there. But the conditions were absolutely terrible. I've just got notes written down so what I can speak about. But the conditions were awful. I mean, when I was in there, what happened was you'd be put in BQ tan, and you'd await either getting jailed in the Philippines if you committed a crime in the Philippines. You would wait to go.
I remember the days of DH10.
A court and get jailed in the Philippines, or if you were getting deported. What happens is you put on a waiting list. Well, I was in there for 110 days in BQ Tan, and to be honest with you, I didn't think I was ever going to get home because a lot of people, a lot of lads in there, foreigners, some from Africa, some from China, Korea.
Yeah, foreigners will be from different countries.
Yeah, a lot of lads were in there, had been there for
BQ10, power to the people.
10, 15 years in BQ10, and that was their life. Obviously, a lot of the lads wanted to stay there because they were wanted back home for murder.
We couldn't have been that bad.
There was a guy called Joshua.
Did he have a tree?
The longest serving detainee, 16 years he'd been in there, but he was wanted for murder back in Africa, and he was looking at the death penalty. So he decided to live
that makes sense
his
then.
life in BQ10 detention centre.
Can you decide, like, can you go, oh, I'm not going home, I'll just stop here? They go, oh, Barry then.
But some of the people, guys, I was locked up with, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the videos on YouTube, but I was actually training 2 Korean mafia blokes in there. They actually ran the facility. What happens is...
Shout out Doug.
Guard, the governor of the prison, the boss.
Were you not the governor? I thought you had on. Have you been lying to us about this governor crap?
He'd be on the payroll to the Koreans. So what would happen is the Koreans would maybe pay him 100,000
Oh, have you got the hiccups there, Barney Gumble? Have you?
pesos a month, which is probably about 10 grand. The Koreans would pay him
10 grand. They're paying him 10 grand. What, in English money a month? That's quite a big buy off. What are they getting for 10 grand a month?
100,000 pesos a month, and they got the run of the whole facility. What happened then was they get all the drugs in. There was a lot of amphetamines getting brought in through the ice.
Why the hell would you want to take amphetamine in the detention centre? Kind of thinking they're worse.
They just ran the whole place.
Get a couple of cowies down your neck, man.
And I ended up training 2 of the lads. There's a video on YouTube of me training Han.
Training's a bit of a push, but go on.
The big powerlifter lad. They were just powerlifters. They weren't fighters, but they were serious figures and really important people in the facility. So I got in with them. So I was kind of looked after a little bit sometimes. I mean,
why did you need look after? Aren't you the hardest man in the UK?
The food, guys. The food in BQ10 is absolutely disgusting, as you'll see.
I mean, is it better or worse than drinking your own piss in a shed? I'm just asking, Derek. I'm just asking.
Some of the portions on my community page, the portions were awful, and I lost a lot of weight when I was in there due to the training, but also due to the fact that I wasn't getting many calories in. But there was also what it was in BQ.
Yeah, you weren't eating like a pig in there. I do get that.
You've got a thing called the cage. Now the cage holds 300 people, and if you had to see it, guys, the cage, everyone's crammed together. Everyone's got their own beds, but everyone's crammed together. It's horrible, stinking. It was rat infested, cockroaches, bed bugs. There was everything, but I didn't get put in the cage. I actually got put in a place called the Bamboo House. Now the Bamboo House was for
sounds like a brothel.
High risk detainees. For some reason, they put me in there, thinking that was a
nonce.
An escape risk, which I wasn't, like, because it was hard to escape out of that place, as I'll get to the story about the Korean that tried to escape. But I was put in the Bamboo House with 11 other people, and these were all serious people. There was an Indian serial killer. He was in for murdering 10 people.
Serial killer was in for murder, was he?
And he was looking at life, maybe the death penalty. I don't know what the penalty is.
He wasn't in the BQ10 centre for murder. He was in the BQ10 centre to get deported.
In the Philippines for murder. But it was an Indian serial killer. He was in there for killing 11 women.
Can't remember his name, though. Killed 11 women.
I was in with a Yakuza mafia boss from Manila in the Philippines.
Bearing in mind, right, Decker, you're saying this right. They might be lying because you probably told them that you're the governor.
He was a big, heavy boss.
Did you tell them that you're a laughing stock on the internet in the UK and everybody knows you're a convicted sex offender? Did you tell them that? I bet you did. You did you? You did you? No, you didn't. Did he, shite?
Capital of the Philippines. He ended up...
Doesn't know what the capital of the Philippines is called. Country that he was in for a very long time.
Getting captured for millions of pounds worth of drugs. So he got put in the detention centre with us in the Bamboo House. There was Radu.
Radu wins. He sounds like he's fresh out of Mortal Kombat. Him. Head on.
Radu wins. Flawless victory.
don't know if you've seen the guy that holds the body bag for me while I'm hitting the body bag on YouTube.
The body bag.
That was rad.
Is it not just a pad, Derek?
He was a serious Romanian fella. Guys, there was some serious people in there. You had the different areas. You had the Koreans running one part. They ran the whole prison, the Koreans, but they had their own little gangs. Well,
did they run one part or did they run the whole thing?
The Koreans in one side, you had the Chinese triads in another side. You had the Europeans near the bamboo house. That was me, Radu, people like that, Swedish Mike, Figo. There was some lads, a lot of good lads I met in there.
Oh, they sound belters.
But I spent 110 days altogether in there. And to be honest with you,
it wasn't long enough.
My family didn't fight for me, I probably wouldn't have got out. Because the thing is over there, guys, it's so corrupt with the government. What happens is...
So hold on a second. So over in the Philippines is corrupt with the government, right? And if it wasn't for your parents... So what did Babs and Diet Chips, my good pal... Shout out Diet Chips one time... El Chipo. So what did Babs and Diet Chips do then to overthrow the corruption of the Filipino government? I'm all ears.
When they get you on a deportation, normally they try and get money out of you. Now, I seen lads, there was lads in there that ended up getting out that paid like 8 million peso. I mean, I don't know how...
About £47.
How much that is in UK pounds, but people were paying...
Next to nothing.
Millions of pesos to get out, and that's what they do. That's how corrupt it is. What they do is the UK...
It can't be that much money, because I sent you a few 100,000 pesos, so it can't be that much money.
Embassy are in on the fiddle as well, because what they do is you'll get put in the deportation centre, and then the UK embassy will connect with the governor, and what they do is...
Oh, I thought you were the governor.
Then...
Oh, that was a belter. Did you see that little freeze frame there? Let's see if we can get that again.
And what they do is then they get money out of people, and if you pay what they ask...
That's definitely the thumbnail, you big mug.
You get out. But if you didn't have the money or you were stuck in there, you wouldn't be getting out of that place. I only got out because my family fought tooth and nail to get me out. But while I was locked up, while I was in there, what happened was there was an outbreak of the tuberculosis disease.
The turd what?
Now, what happens with that?
So is that what's wrong with Derek then? He's got tuberculosis?
Was with the tuberculosis disease, guys, there was...
Does it give you the hiccups?
An isolation unit. Now, what happened was, let's just say for me, for example, just say it's November and my deportation date is set for the February, so in November, December, 3 months time. What happened was, if I contracted tuberculosis, my deportation...
Does Derek have tuberculosis? Let's have a close look at his tuberculo eyes. Jesus Christ. Derek, seriously, right? I know I come on here ripping you in that, but all jokes aside, get some help for your addictions or you're going to die.
Had been cancelled and I was put into the isolation unit for 18 months. Luckily, touch wood, I didn't catch tuberculosis, but the people that did...
Tuberculosis caught Decker.
Had the deportations cancelled.
Tuberculosis was scared of the governor.
Isolated for 18 months now. Guys, being isolated in this facility is hell on earth. Because at the end of the day, some of the isolation unit, and it was also where you go if you get into fights, if you get in trouble, you get put in a well, it's a cage on your own. It's 6 foot by 8 foot. So it was 8 foot wide and 6 foot in length. And what happened was they would put 4 prisoners at
how tall was it?
A time in the isolation unit.
It's not isolation then, is it? You fucking spack off, there's 4 people in it, but go on.
And the way it worked was...
Get isolated with 3 other people.
2 of you would be sleeping while 2 of you would be standing. And then what they would do is they would swap. And anyone that's being detained in this place will know exactly what I'm talking about. The isolation unit, the guards used to threaten you with it because nobody wanted to go into the isolation.
What if there was already 4 people in it? Did he be like, you can't put us there, there's already 4 people in you, big diddy? He didn't think of that, did he?
Unit. But I'll tell you a little bit about the Korean. There was a Korean guy I put a news bulletin about this place.
Oh, what was that? What was happening there?
I put a news bulletin about this place because while I was in there, somebody undercover actually got in the facility and was interviewing people. I don't know how he got in there, but the news bulletin's on my channel. But he got in there, and what happened was a Korean tried to escape from the facility. He nearly got out as well, but it was all barbed wired around the top, so he couldn't get out in the end. And what happened was,
Bless him.
the guards half beat him to death. Horrible. We didn't see that, but the guy was beaten half to death. You know what I mean? And he nearly lost his life. He had to go to hospital. But it was that bad. That's how ruthless it was, guys. If you tried to escape from that place, you were never getting out. There was a doctor also locked up with me. There was a doctor. He was in for selling organs in the Philippines. So
selling organs in the Philippines. Good God. Did you tell him that you're a pianist? Not that kind of organ, Craig.
What he'd do is he'd do operations on patients and sell the organs on. And he was in there waiting to go to jail.
Oh, well, yours would have been safe.
In the Philippines. But the Japanese...
How much is it to ram that organ down my throat? You'd love that, wouldn't you, Heggy?
Yakuza guy who we got on with really, really well. He couldn't speak much English, like.
Neither can you.
But he was a good guy. He ended up getting with the
all these good guys in the deportation centre, you know.
bamboo house we were in. It was all rat infested, rats crawling.
All these good guys that they don't even want in a third world country where sex tourism is a huge thing. Child sex tourism is a huge thing.
All over us during the night. No.
And if you don't believe that, go on YouTube and put in Filipino child sex trade and look at all the official big budget documentaries made on the subject.
Well, it was
It's, mind you, they're a hard watch, some of them. It ruined my day. I remember looking at them 2023, I think it was, when he was in the BBQ10, power to the people.
Absolutely terrible. The bed bugs were absolutely horrendous. People getting bed bug bites right up the legs, their arms, everywhere. What happened was this chap...
So far, the worst things about this absolutely hell on earth place is you had to stand up straight waiting for the phone and you got a bed bug bite on your leg.
Japanese Yakuza guy, boss, come in. And what he done was he turned our bamboo house into an aircon. So, because he was loaded, he obviously had a lot of money, he had a lot of pull, and obviously was on the payroll with the governor of the detention centre. He ended up turning our bamboo house into aircon, so it was easier to sleep at night, because I'll tell you what, guys, the heat over there, and especially if you haven't got a fan, can make you ill. It's that bad. But you've probably seen on the community page, the portions of food were horrible. For breakfast, we used to get a couple of rolls of bread and a cup of coffee. That was it. A couple of rolls of bread, a cup of coffee, and for dinner, we get a bag of rice, about that big, and some vegetables. So we weren't really getting any protein. 110 days in that place, and it was hell. Unfortunately, a Chinese lad committed suicide when I was in there. I didn't see it, but
you're all right. He looks upset he missed it.
The area that he'd done it in, the Chinese area.
What, has it got a Chinatown? How big's the BQ Tan?
The area that he hung himself, they closed it off. The story to that was, what happened was, he'd already been in there for 2 years, and his Filipino girlfriend wouldn't wait for him anymore. Not just that, on top of that, they weren't giving him his right medication, and he ended up hanging himself, and the poor fella died.
Poor fella that they didn't want in the country.
But what got me was...
What did he say in one of his stories? That is also mentioned in the court documents. Well, not court documents, solicitors' documents, being released as a book soon on Hedgehog Books. But what did he say? He said that they're all either murderers, murderers, mafia bosses, or paedophiles and rapists. That's what he said. But they're all nice guys now.
The way they dispose of the bodies, what they would do was, if someone died in the facility, they would go and get them on a carrier, put
Right, that sounds pretty normal.
them in a bag
Your body bag, yeah, that's pretty normal.
and leave them outside the front entrance for a van to come and pick them up. And the families were never ever told. Now, there's a lot of stories about BQ Tan. If you look into BQ Tan in Manila, there's where foreigners go missing, and it's true, because there's a lot of people in there, still in there today, that are never getting out. And like I say, a lot of...
So hold on a second. So you go in there, and on your second day, the British Embassy are there to talk to you, right? But you could just disappear off the face of the planet. No one would ever know. Shit off, will you, Derek?
them are wanted for murder.
Stop trying to make your mundane, boring experience of sitting in a shithole waiting to be deported interesting. There's nothing interesting about you. Well, the most interesting about you is that you pretended to dig a hole in the corrupted.
For crimes back home. You know, there are a lot of serious crimes, but there's also people in there that are trying to get home that can't. And I was fortunately one of the people that got home in the end, you know what I mean?
Not fortunate for us.
With my story, you've seen it all in the newspapers, and it even says in the newspapers, which I'll pin in the description box, that
I'm not interested.
I wasn't wanted for crimes against children at all. I was... false information was...
What it says is, Derek, it says somebody from the UK told them you weren't. It doesn't say it's anybody official. It just says somebody from the UK. And I reckon that was probably you on your 60 minutes of phone time. And that's why you were so desperate to get your phone.
Sent into the detention centre and the UK embassy.
There's also a newspaper article, which I will pin in the description of this video, that says that Derek, when he appeared in court, you can remember the 72 hours he was there, he thought he was Tommy Robinson. Look at that face, man. In fact, that's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail, Des. You know, the 72 hours he thought he was Tommy Robinson, giving it the biggin, and then ended up in jail for nearly a year, right? Well, there's a newspaper article that's a local paper of Cumbria that says Derek Heggie and his past offences were read out, including a sex offence. Now, I'm not telling you to do this, but sex offenders aren't allowed Facebook accounts. And there's a way to report people. And what you have to do is provide evidence of the fact that these people have sexual... you have to prove the fact that these people have sexual offences. You have to prove the fact that these people have sex offence convictions. And that newspaper article would be accepted by Facebook. I just can't be asked to do it.
And I was arrested.
So don't you lot do it, mind that. Don't. Stop laughing. I mean it, don't. I may put the link to the form in the description.
For supposed crimes against children, which was an absolute load of rubbish. Then when I got in there, because I tell you what, guys, with being in there, if the UK embassy didn't clear up what I was actually in for, my life could have been at risk. I was in...
You were in there because they didn't want you in the country, Derek. End of.
With murderers.
They don't really need a reason.
Gangsters, mafioso people. There was a lot of dangerous people in BQ Tan.
It's not illegal to have a Facebook account, but it is against Facebook's terms and conditions.
But luckily the UK embassy came in, and you'll see in the description box the newspaper articles. But that's just a little bit of the story, guys. It was a really rough place. Makes UK prisons look like a play school. But have a good day, guys, and God bless.
God bless.